Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast brought to you by REC Comics and Collectibles. I am your host, as always, Roman Chavez, and with me, my partner in crime,
Erik Icarus.
Woo! I'm way too excited about this episode, guys, because you guys, I wish you could feel the heat radiating off of my co-host here. Just so much.
I'm seething, bro.
I can see those stink lines, those heat stink lines coming off you. And what could we be talking about, you're wondering? Obviously, we're talking about the season finale of Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, the end.
The end of an era. Let's give it credit where credit's due. The end of an era.
Arguably my favorite show for 8 years.
One of the greatest television shows of all time across any genre.
Oh yeah.
And the last episode aired, and you guys, you've been with us on this ride. We have not been the biggest proponents of this season. Erik, did the finale help you?
No. Last time we talked about it, you had given me this pretty cool theory. And I was like, okay, if this pans out, I can get behind this. It gives Daenerys motivation for turning villain so quick, you know? And then, no, she's just a crazy Targaryen. Time of the month. She thought she'd kill a bunch of people, and that was it. I got nothing out of this.
Yeah.
Nothing. None of the characters grew. In fact, they all went essentially right back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, basically, they're all back to where they were when they started, basically. Except for Arya.
Yeah.
I mean, she was the only one that actually kind of got a decent ending.
Yeah.
So, not to mention all these other unanswered questions, which I think that's a show unto itself.
Okay.
Down the road. Let's cool off on the thrones for a bit.
Yeah.
But there is so many things they left unanswered.
Yeah. Well, what are some things they left for you unanswered?
What were those the Dornish sisters?
Well, we know they're dead.
But the mom.
Well,
they held their prisoner, but we didn't see her fate. It was alluding that someone was going to come save her, either Theon or Yara or somebody.
Well, Cersei left her down there to watch her daughter die, and then her die slowly. So
but they were still. Oh, for sure she is now, because she wasn't sitting on the council. There was that new Cornish dude. So just some dude.
The new Persian Mexican guy.
Exactly. So, I don't know, man. I just don't even know why don't we start with the positives? Let's start out positive here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you got from
let's do a compliment sandwich for this. If we can. Let's go with the positive, then we'll go into some negatives, then we'll end with some positives. I've got to give credit to every single actor on that show trying to save it.
Yeah.
Like, I saw Peter Dinklage trying.
Yeah.
He was trying so hard. And it's a bummer because this episode started off with like 10 minutes of slow-mo of them just walking around. That's all it was.
Season 8, the season of the slow walk. Jesus Christ. If you're into punk music and you hated so many punk songs that had woes or ahs in there, this was that version. For me, it was just. I mean, everybody got a slow walk.
Everybody.
Even Drogon got a slow fly.
Yeah.
A slow fly out.
I mean, but him just acting with the surroundings. I mean, that kind of saved the scene for me. Him impossibly finding his two siblings, which, come on, that would never happen. But the reaction was, him having sympathy for Cersei. Yeah. I was okay with that.
Yeah.
It's his sister.
Yeah.
Regardless. But, maybe he's crying because he wasn't the one that got to kill her.
Yeah. I mean, you could infer that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. My hats off to every single one of those actors trying to make this drivel work. You have a positive?
I'm sure I do, but I'm definitely in the hate zone right now. And for the most part, I'm actually a little bit indifferent. But the more I think about it, the more the show episode bothers me. I did respect. While I didn't like it, I respected that they put Bran on the throne. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense whatsoever, but I definitely didn't see it coming. So in an entire season where I felt like I could predict everything that was happening. Like all of my hopes for the show were hopes that I wanted. So like the thing with Varys, the stuff with Rhaegar, like all of those things were just hopes. I wasn't sure if they were going to happen. I was hopeful, but I never saw them putting Bran on the throne. I liked Tyrion's explanation for it
because he tells stories.
Yeah. And
I thought that was Sam's thing because
he's the Meister.
Yeah.
What did I like? I don't know, man. I
kind of like how they ended with that joke that Tyrion's been trying to tell for
sure.
So I mean, that just wraps up the whole series in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's a joke that you'll just never get the punchline to.
Yeah, that actually drove me a little crazy. Yeah. I want the end of that.
Oh, I mean, I'm really trying to focus on one or two things that that I really hated. I mean, there was no payoff.
Yeah.
I mean,
none.
Why would he need to take the black again?
Yeah.
There's no need for it.
Yeah, the White Walkers are...
Just tell him he's exiled to the north.
Yeah.
Just tell him that.
Yeah.
You live with the free folk now.
I mean, they had to, I guess they had to explain it to Grey Worm, which it's like, if you guys are going to tease so many times that Grey Worm and Jon are going to have a fight...
Right. Oh, I thought that was going to happen.
I mean, it's like,
okay, cool, we're going to get one last brawl.
Yeah. I did like Jon killing Daenerys.
I'd have been okay with it. It was executed awfully. Awful.
I didn't expect it then. I thought he was going to use that to get closer to her later and then do it in front of everybody and kind of like, I'm doing this for the people.
Sure.
Drogon
melting the throne was cool.
Was neat, but why?
Why?
Somebody a buddy of mine texted me. He's like, who just kind of follows it in the news, doesn't really watch the show, but likes fantasy stuff, and was like, are the dragons sentient or sapient? And I said, only one and sometimes.
There you go.
So, it wasn't... it was cool and it was kind of symbolic. Brennan Schaub from the Fighter and the Kid and Below the Belt, who has been all over this show. So happy, enjoying it. Said it's been his favorite season. Did not like this episode. And he was like, well, I thought Drogon was going to melt the throne and then roll Daenerys into it and make like a statue. I was like, why would that make any sense at all?
But it actually makes more sense. It makes more sense than anything.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm not on the statue bandwagon.
Oh, man.
I just don't understand why Jon was put in prison. Like, all he's got to say is, that dragon freaked out. Killed her. It took her off. Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm king.
Yeah.
I agree with you there on the taking the black. It's like
there's no need for it. They legit just all they could have said was like, you've renounced your ways with us. Go be with the free folk.
Yeah.
Like you live by their ways, their code. You stay with them now. That's all I had to say. And it's the black.
Yeah, I just don't like the message that Jon was a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
In this world of terrible people. Only had a couple moments of questionable judgment, but never like, oh, you're a piece of crap. It was like, oh, you're just like a little naive.
Right. He's got faults.
Yeah, your heart's in the right place. Yes.
Him,
But then they just, oh, you got to take the black.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense to me.
Did you like the end part with Sam pulling out the Song of Ice and Fire book? To me, that's like, okay, so that would be like in Return of the Jedi, C-3PO is like, hey, I'm writing this book called A New Hope.
Yeah. It was a callback because the Meister who was writing it had a terrible name for the book. So, I mean, it's a callback to that moment, but I'm just not, like, super into it. I just don't like Sam. I don't like his character. He's useless.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he had potential to be cool. Like when he was curing Joran of that disease.
That was really cool, yeah.
I mean, like they were setting up to be like an underdog, like a dark horse that could save a bunch of people, but didn't pay it off.
Didn't pay it off. I did like Bran making Tyrion his hand.
Sort of like his pain penance.
Yes.
That was kind of cool.
Because, ultimately... Okay, here's my problem.
Okay.
Here's my problem. Ultimately, this entire battle was the Seven Kingdoms versus the Lannisters.
Pretty much.
And then ultimately, a Lannister is still kind of controlling stuff in Tyrion.
Yep.
Jon's parentage means nothing.
Nothing.
It doesn't matter.
Nothing.
Does not matter.
Nope.
And I'm not even completely convinced that if Daenerys doesn't cross doesn't cross the sea, that this outcome is any different.
For sure.
I don't feel like Cersei's armies were too much for the North.
No.
In the free folk.
Not at all.
Yeah, more of the North and the free folk die, but Daenerys coming over, all she provided was cannon fodder for the Night King.
Yep.
It was just a bunch of Dothraki and a bunch of Unsullied that died.
Yep.
And I'm not entirely convinced that they don't win that battle without them.
Exactly.
I think that they do.
Oh, for sure.
I think that they absolutely do.
If we would have got the Jon we had in some of the previous battles with, with Grey Worm. No, I guess he wouldn't be there.
No.
Who else would have been, like, Tormund?
Yeah, Tormund would have been there.
Great strategist.
Yeah, the free folk, Tormund, Davos.
Lady Brienne, yeah.
Tyrion would have been there.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You might have had Jaime. I mean, you still would have had Jaime, but then maybe they don't convince Jaime to come down because they're not able to bring the White back or whatever.
Sure.
So I guess you could argue that. But just if we have the free folk and the Northmen fighting, I think a lot of them die, but I still think that they defeat the Night King.
Yep.
As long as Arya's there, as long as Bran is there.
Exactly.
Like, they're okay.
For sure.
So, that really bothers me. Like, it does not matter at all that Jon is a Targaryen. Yeah. Does not matter.
Nope. They set up all those crazy plot points for nothing. Like Cersei being pregnant, quote unquote.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Doesn't matter. Didn't matter.
And then Sansa gets to become a queen. Are you just... I'm trying really hard not to cuss on our very family-friendly podcast. That's how upset I am about that. I hate Sansa's character.
I do too.
And...
there was no growth in her character.
No. And it's like, what did she do? What did she do? The Northmen rallied around her, but all she did was passive-aggressively talk to Daenerys.
That was it.
That's all she did. She did nothing to show strength.
Nope.
All she did was go behind people's back and betray her brother.
Right.
Betrayed her brother. I don't know. It's...
again, just bad writing. Because they did set, initially for me, Sansa was kind of set up as a decent character after the Ramsay stuff. Like,
sure.
Okay, maybe she's going to get stronger. Maybe she's going to rally and be a leader. And like you said, we just got a backstabber. Yeah. We got a kind of another Cersei. So, I mean... even her crown kind of reminded me of Cersei's a bit. I mean, Daenerys tried to break the wheel, and maybe that was the point of the ending, was that you can't break the wheel. It's just going to go... I mean, executed better, that would have been cool.
I did laugh when Sam was like, why don't we, basically have democracy? And everybody kind of laughs.
Yeah.
I was like, who are these other lords that we've never seen?
I know, right?
Why are there 3 Starks here? Yeah. And you guys just opened, I would have, it would have saved the entire episode for me. They named Bran king, and then Sansa's like, well, the North, won't bend the knee to a Southern king again. And then Bran's like, I'll lead my armies to the North.
I'd have been okay, man.
It's like there's a Stark on the Iron Throne. Well, I guess that's why they elected him, because he already had his own chair. He already had his own chair.
Yeah.
Like that dragon melted the other one. Exactly. I guess he's got one. He's qualified.
I just can see them another war happening, and then they beat them back into the King's Landing. They just dump him out of his chair.
Yeah. Like, all right,
I'm the new king. I'm just wheeling around the Red Keep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good thing it's all demolished. They're gonna have to put some ramps in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it worked out for him. Perfect.
Yeah. Jon deserved better. We deserve better. At least he gets to go and live with the free folk. And I think that was kind of Tyrion's thing. Is like, you're gonna take the Black. There's no Castle Black, really.
Right.
Like, we don't do this anymore.
Exactly.
But it's like, dude, he saved you all in different ways.
So many times.
And he just doesn't he's still a bastard.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who he was or who he is. And that sucks because he was a genuinely decent person.
I wish there would have been some redemption in his name.
Yeah.
Like they did find out he was a Targaryen.
Uh-huh.
Or, he just denies it and says, I'm a Stark through and through.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's one of those things where, unfortunately, you can go back and watch previous seasons, but it's not like one of those series where you can go, oh, just watch 1 through 4. It's great.
Yeah.
It's because everything was leading to this point.
Yeah.
So you can't just go back and watch, single seasons and be like, oh, that was great, but I know it ends bad, Yeah,
I don't know. The season with the Battle of the Bastards, what is that, season 6?
I feel like, in a way, they could have ended it there.
They kind of could have. Yeah. Just making Jon king of the North and everything. I'm interested in Arya, but I don't think one of the spin-off shows is Arya going west. I don't think that's one of the shows.
Really?
Which is like, I would watch that show.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I would watch that show.
Yeah.
And then her kind of find old Valyria, or her find the origin of the Faceless People.
Sure.
Which, by the way, Eric, I got to tell you, from the previous episode we vetted, nobody knows what you're talking about when you said she can't use her powers
Oh,
anymore.
yeah. Okay, I'll pull it up.
No, there's nothing for it. Like, there's
Really?
nothing about it. Yeah. She just hasn't.
I have a thing. I will pull it up.
All right. Well, we're going to have to talk about that at a later date.
Okay, I'll pull it up for you. Anyway, go ahead.
But I wanted to watch... I would watch that story. One of them is going to be that prequel that is 1,000 years before this, where the Targaryens rise to power. Well, that's definitely one of them, but I don't know what the other two are. I mean, really don't.
Why? Because we see how it ends.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem with the prequel.
Prequels are only going to be as good as how the thing ended.
Yeah.
Like, okay, ended this way. I want to know why it ended, why we got here. I don't care.
The only thing that's
don't care.
The only thing that'll make it super interesting to me right off the bat, the only thing, I'm not gonna watch any of the stuff until a couple seasons in, until people tell me that they like it.
Right.
I don't care. I don't usually have HBO. I canceled it the day after. Like,
good for you, man.
You know how you get my money? You show me that prequel trailer, and Varys is in it.
Oh yeah.
That's how you get me intrigued.
There we go. I could watch that.
I would just don't even show him with long hair and
flowing locks and everything.
Just,
big bulge.
Yeah, just big bulge downstairs. Yeah, this is the story of Varys and how he lost it. But.
He's got a real deep voice.
Yeah. So long blonde hair, jacked.
Yeah.
Got all that testosterone in him. Yeah, man, it was. I liked Jon killing Daenerys. I liked the moment when he realizes he must.
Sure.
When he's like, how do we know?
But it happens
right?
so.
Yeah.
He's like, she's my queen.
Yeah.
50 times, and finally Tyrion takes 2 minutes, and then he's like, oh, okay, I gotta do this. Yeah. And then what was up with Daenerys' Hitler speech? Right. It looked pretty.
It was super Hitlery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's
maybe that's what they were alluding to.
Yes, I think that's us for the audience.
It makes me so sad for her character, man.
I know, dude.
She deserved better.
She did. She's not wrong in almost all of this.
No.
She shouldn't have burned down King's Landing, but other than that, she was pretty much a good chick.
Yeah, and just her turn, it made no sense. Just. What were they just saying? That she was a Targaryen? And that this was
all Targaryens are crazy, which is obviously not the case because Jon's not.
Right, maybe because the Stark blood's
better
evening them out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe that's something we get in the old, in the prequel. We see why the Targaryens are they have a proclivity for madness.
Sure.
But it just doesn't make sense. It would have been better if Varys was poisoning him. That's all I gotta say.
And I would have been like, oh. And then you get what would have been cool about that is we find out through Bran, working back in the past, and you see him doing it, and then he's sharing the information with Jon, and that's what convinces Jon to kill Daenerys.
Yeah, okay.
And then wow,
at least there would have been a reason.
Exactly. It's she's not going to get better. She's lost her mind completely, and then that's him trying to. I don't know, he's trying to pull her back from madness, and then, Bran's like, no, she's not going to get better. She's just going to get worse. You have to do this. And, putting Bran on that, making King, the whole series, he
knows what's coming, though. That's the thing. He knows what's coming then.
Sure.
The entire time.
Right. And he didn't want it. He made no sly gestures or anything that I want to be king.
And to Varys's and even Tyrion's point, maybe the person who is king shouldn't be king. Shouldn't want to be king.
Well, again, Jon.
Yeah.
Tyrion.
Yeah. But Tyrion having to be the hand, he still kind of runs stuff. I like seeing Bronn as the master of coin.
Sure.
I would have liked to see the rest of the council, but
yeah.
What did you think of Brienne finishing Jaime's story?
That's cool.
It was cool. I thought it would have been funny if it was kind of spiteful. It's and then he took me, and then he went back to his sister, and I've never seen a knight's penis that small. It's just real spiteful.
I'd be totally okay with that too.
So scorned. It was a sweet moment. And Jaime did deserve something, and him dying, he definitely deserved death as well. He deserved to die.
I thought he was going to be that prince that was promised.
Again, another thing that does not matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be him.
Where's the Lord of Light? What does it mean? Who is the prince that was promised? We don't even get a clarification on who it was supposed to be.
Right. And that was a big deal.
Yeah.
A few seasons ago.
Oh, yeah. So was the Night King. I don't know if you remember that guy.
Oh man, I would have taken any explanation, anything, but I thought they might have given us something in this last episode, like to who he was or anything.
Yeah.
But he was just a MacGuffin to get to King's Landing. That was it.
Yeah.
A MacGuffin to kill off all of Daenerys' army to make it seem like there was going to be a conflict because she had less of her army.
Yeah. And literally it took one dragon to defeat Cersei. Right. One dragon.
One. And I wish that oh my goodness. What was the Greyjoy that died?
Theon?
Theon would have fought a Euron. Like he would have survived and because you could have put anybody in place of him protecting Bran at that point.
Yeah.
And they probably didn't even need to die.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have just been fighting him off while the White Walker was the Night King's walking towards him, and then he gets his redemption by fighting
Euron.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that he protected Bran and died for him, but I mean, come on. His real redemption would be killing his uncle so that his sister can be the true queen. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that.
But, it was a sweet moment since he super betrayed the Starks.
Sure.
So I think he deserved to die protecting a Stark.
Oh, for sure. No, him dying at Euron's hands would have been cool, too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or even him running out into battle right before he does, then Bran could be like, hey, you're a good man. Yeah. You might not be coming back from this, but you're a good dude. Yeah. I forgive you. That's fine.
I just want him in the Doctor Strange robe. If I tell you what's going to happen, it won't happen.
I was waiting for that. Oh my god.
No. I did, and I mean, they alluded to Bran, like, he's like, oh, I'm going to go look for Drogon. It's like, are you going to warg into things to look for Drogon? Remember when you sent crows during the Battle of Winterfell and we had no idea nothing came from that?
What was Varys writing?
Yep. Obviously, well, I mean, we know what he was writing, that he was writing. But who was it to? He obviously sent some out. Yeah. What is it ends like Watchmen with like other lords like, Brendan Stark shouldn't be the king. It should be Jon Targaryen, or I guess Aegon Targaryen. Yeah. Third of his name.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, remember the battle of the Tower of Joy? Mm-hmm, yeah. And she whispers his name to Ned, and we don't ever hear it. Yeah. Like I thought we'd at least get his real name.
We do. He tells Dany. He tells Dany, I'm Aegon Targaryen.
Oh, he does say I'm Aegon.
He does say it in the crypt.
I missed that completely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you were probably grinding.
I probably too loudly. I totally missed that.
Yeah, he's Aegon Targaryen.
Oh, he's Aegon.
The third or something like that. Okay. Third of his name. Blah blah blah.
I want a cool time where we find out that Aegon is from Targaryen lineage.
Like Ghostbusters. Egon Spengler?
Yeah.
Of the House Spengler?
Yeah, the House Spengler. Oh, Jesus. The offshoot, man.
Man. Guys, we've derailed. That's how bad
we're just going into that.
That's how bad this was. We derailed, guys. I don't. If you like the episode,
I can't see why.
Yeah.
I want to talk to somebody
who was like, I loved it.
Exactly.
Yeah, who was
or even said like it was pretty good.
A friend of mine did text me and say that he thought it ended the best way it could.
I'll give it that.
Yeah, which is saying what exactly? I'm not sure. I got to tell you, when I was done watching, I was like, that was all right. And then I went to bed. I kind of slept on it, and then I started talking about it, and just more and more. And I guess my biggest gripe is just the lack of anything mattering.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, the fact that Jon's a Targaryen is just for you guys.
Right.
Just for you guys.
Yeah,
you guys like that. Yeah. It was just like such a big deal, and it just and then it wasn't. The Night King was such a big deal, and they survived it in one night.
Right. I feel like they should have done. Last season should have been the battle for Winterfell. Yeah. And then this season could have been the battle for King's Landing. Yeah. Then I feel like you could have got more character development.
But God dang, last season was so good though, man. I don't know. It did. I left it not wanting more from that season. Sure. But excited about the next season.
Yeah.
But
it is what it is, folks.
It's so unfortunate.
But again, we've got to praise that the fact that this was such an amazing series. Mm-hmm. Up until this point, all the actors were on point. Yeah. The stories were really great. Wow. The mythology was amazing. So when we did get it. Yes. Yes. I mean, all hate aside, I still love the show. Yeah. I'm not gonna hate the show.
I'd tell anybody to watch those first 7 seasons, and they would love it. And then take a year off, and then watch season 8.
Yeah, if you got the time.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I mean, I'm sad that it ended this way, and you know, I've got to give props to Amelia Clark and Kit Harington and Peter Dinklage for not backing down when they were asked what did you think of the ending of the show, and they were not mincing words. We'll just put it that way. Kit Harington just said it's very disappointing.
Yeah.
Amelia Clark rolled her eyes and was like, "Yeah, you'll see." Yeah. And Peter Dinklage, being his awesome, sarcastic self, said, "Yeah, D&D are the best writers in the game, and yeah, you're gonna get what you get." Man. I mean, when your actors aren't even backing it during a press tour.
Yeah. Did I tell you that one of them wrote X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Oh yeah, you did tell me that, and I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, I just don't get how this just. I mean, I'd have been okay if they would have went on to some forums and just cherry picked ideas off.
That's what I would have done. If you didn't have an idea,
with that.
Yeah, because they're never going to listen to the show. Nobody even close to the Game of Thrones will ever listen to the show. But it was so obvious. I wish I could compile all of the fan theories, my own theories, and get like a web comic going, and just do season 8 of Game of Thrones. Right. There was that petition that 1 million people signed to have it rewritten and everything. it is disrespectful to the people who wrote the show and did so good to us.
It's hard, but
it's hard, and none of us are writers in professionally. But it's like, guys, everything was there. It was just floating there.
It was right there.
It feels like George R. R. Martin was like, "Hey guys, Brandon Stark gets on the throne," but then didn't tell them how to get there.
Right, but at that point, it's like you get paid pretty handsomely.
Yes.
To do this, and if you can't if they give you, they give you the answer to the equation.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, you got to reverse engineer it.
It's your job to do this, and I mean, there were so many cool fan theories out there.
Yeah.
And I'd have been so happy with any of those.
This felt like the end to a show I never saw before.
For sure. Because none of the characters were really acting in character.
Yeah.
I mean, the actors were trying to be that character, but they're like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't have the problem with any of the delivery. I thought
everything was pretty on point.
I thought Amelia Clark going crazy in the last episode.
She played it well.
She looked great. She looked great playing it. Yeah. I was like, I believe that you're nuts.
Give me some build up to it. Anything. And just, I mean, I think the one thing I did kind of like, again, it was executed really awful, was when they're walking north and then there's that green, the plants growing out of the snow. That, to me, was like, oh, cool. Because I'm all about symbolism. Sure, I love symbolism and metaphors, and that's awesome. Because what comes after winter? Spring. Yeah. And that was cool, but it was executed. That was just shoehorned in there. Just that's showing hope. Yeah, put a little green in there, Yeah. I mean...
and so few of our main characters died. In a show that didn't seem to have any qualms about killing people, they seemed very, apprehensive on, killing anybody. That person. Yeah. Killing anybody, especially Sam. God. Sam and Sansa.
I know, and it's, again, those two had potential earlier in the series to be cool characters, and they either got wrote out really bad or to... Who plays Sansa? I always forget her name.
Sophie Turner.
I just think her acting range is pretty awful.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of hers, whatever. But she wasn't really given a lot to do. Yeah. To grow as a character, so I don't know, man. I just, I wish I could talk to the writers of the show and just be like, I want to know your process, because you kind of stole 8 years of my life. Not completely, because I did enjoy the other seasons. Yeah. But all those seasons were leading up to this one season, and it felt very disappointing. And I want to know what you were thinking.
You owe me this.
You owe me that.
Yeah. You sound like somebody in a bad breakup. You're the person that's being broken up with right now.
Oh God, I need all the answers. Tell me.
I won't let it discredit definitely those first 7 seasons.
It's still great.
If anything, I'll give them. Here you go. I'm gonna turn this poop into a little gold. At least they were consistently bad the whole season. Am I right, guys? At least we had some consistency there.
There wasn't one episode wow, that was really cool.
There really wasn't. There was a lot of cool moments.
Yep, cool moments peppered in there, but sorry, man, I'm gonna need a little more than peppered awesome moments in this, man. Sorry, it just, you could even tell from the first episode, it just was just a sled down, just decline. I mean, because the first episode of the season was like, okay, let's see where they're going with this.
Yeah, and so good. It's so good.
Yeah, and then you see where they go, and wow, that was awful. No. That was really horrible. So, yeah, well, folks, I mean, we did it.
We did what we could. We got through it. It may still warrant a roundtable just to remember the good times.
Yeah,
but we'll have to discuss that. I'm kind of ready to get past my life of Game of Thrones.
Man. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. I'd be okay with doing it because I do. Some of our friends enjoyed it. They enjoyed it because Andy didn't like this episode.
Yeah, Andy didn't really care for it. He felt that it was disappointing, but I haven't talked to everybody yet, so
let's see.
We'll get there.
Let's see if there's enough positive people in our group that warrant a roundtable.
Because I don't think we want to have a roundtable gripe session.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, guys, that was our show for today. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry to have it so negative, but I feel like if you've been listening, you knew where we were going. You knew what was coming. We did not bamboozle you. We did not change the ending. We kept on it, and we were not entertained, to say the least.
Nope.
If you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. Leave us some comments on the YouTube audio clips, and check out our Instagram page at REC Comics. We got some figures and comic books for sale.
Good stuff.
Shoot us a DM if you're, hey, what'd you guys think of this in pop culture? And we'd love to talk about some topics that you might have.
For sure.
Again, thank you for joining us. I have been your host. And I want to ask you what you learned, Eric, but I feel like we're angry.
We're angry. I didn't learn anything.
I learned that I'm angry.
Me too.
And thank you for tuning in. I have been Roman Chavez.
Still Erik and Chris.
And thank you for tuning in.